Hi everyone, it's Az here from Heel vs Babyface, 7:30 in the morning. Don't worry about it. I can't believe we are back here again 3 days in a row. But I guess if your manufactured racism doesn't succeed, try again. As last night, Disney tripled down on the what some people are calling a non-controversy, which is great. We're going to get to some pretty based comments soon regarding the whole Moses Ingram racism that's been going on. Now, if you saw yesterday's video, Moses Ingram decided to post up on her social media certain, not so nice comments. Some of them were just nothing, like, you suck. I don't think they can call that a racism, but, here we are. It's 2022. Posted up some not so nice comments, and then started talking about, how do you deal with this? You just can't kind of deal with this. You just got to move on, ignore it, whatever. Essentially, Disney took those comments. We don't have any context for them, so we don't know which accounts they came from. We don't know who wrote them, who runs the account, and not trying to get conspiratorial, but let's just be honest. Disney are marketing this right now. They are manufacturing this narrative in an effort to silence people from criticizing the Kenobi show, which it has come under a lot of criticism about. So, would you even put it past Disney creating their own controversy? No. But it also seems to very much be baiting people to do it. Because if you are manufacturing something, then there's nothing better than to get the genuine article. And the genuine article, of course, would be to bait people and then have some people say some actual that they can link to some accounts. And then be, look, hands on hips. Oh, look at this. It's still carrying on. Now, it goes without say, because I don't think you are stupid people who are watching this, that I don't have to say, but I will briefly say, racism's bad. Nasty comments that are based on race, not welcome. But when you're a corporation, and let's just be honest, anyone who's in the public eye, and it's amplified massively when you're in a huge production like a Star Wars film, a Marvel movie, not necessarily a DC one, then you are going to get a minute segment. Because the comments that have come in, we don't know how many comments have come in. Hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions. And yet Disney very specifically want to focus in on a small, tiny group of messages that, if it was put into a percentile, would probably be less than 1% by a significant amount. Not a small amount, significant amount. So when you see that narrative, and we've seen this narrative before with Ghostbusters 2016, a lot of the negative comments were amplified, but when somebody literally went through all the comments, whether it be positive, negative, and broke it all down, the actual percentage of negative comments was like 0.2% or something. Absolutely negligible. But of course, again, the corporations want to latch on this because they want to create a narrative, and the narrative is to protect the IP or the show from criticism, legitimate criticism. And to me, it says a lot that Disney are constantly double downing on this. First of all, there was comments. First of all, we had the interview saying Disney warned us that there would be racism, Star Wars fans. And then the next thing we have is a few soundbite comments and a produced video by Moses Ingram about, oh, look what I received. And then today, or last night, but it was early morning for me, I was sleeping. Ewan McGregor comes out, and I'll play what Ewan McGregor says, but he does come out with some unbelievable logic here. Racism bad. So when you're dragging people out to make these videos, it suddenly becomes, instead of manufactured racism, exploitative. And so it very much to me looks like Disney are now exploiting Moses Ingram's color for press and publicity to avoid criticism about their laser sword TV show. So let's listen to what poor Ewan McGregor, who got dragged into this nonsense, had to say when he was called up and they said, "Ewan, can you record a quick video for us now? I'm in my car. Ewan, it doesn't matter. Just a minute or so saying, like, you know, #1 show and racism bad." Oh, for fuck. Okay, I'll do it.
This weekend, Star Wars fans made Obi Wan Kenobi the most watched Disney Plus original series premiere of all time. And for
huzzahs. No numbers, but huzzahs. By the way, Netflix released their numbers with Stranger Things 4. Just saying. Disney didn't. Just saying.
For that, I would say a big thank you. And it just goes to show what this family can do when we all pull together.
Okay, that's where the video should have ended. Let me just bring up an example here. Here's Tom Cruise. 36 years after the first film, Top Gun Maverick is finally here. We made it for the big screen, and we made it for you, the fans. I hope you enjoy this the ride this weekend. Not overtly pandering, just saying 36 years ago, we made Top Gun. Here's the sequel. We made it for the cinema experience, and we made it for you, the fans. Hope you enjoy. It's just nice. Oh, cheers. Tom Cruise didn't call me a racist for being critical of a character that's poorly written and poorly acted. Thanks, Tom. By the way, go to the cinema and watch Top Gun Maverick. Not because Tom Cruise is not calling me a racist, but because it's a damn good film and I thoroughly enjoyed it and I'd highly recommend it. Very respectful to the original, and yeah, it's good stuff. It's amazing, and the kind of practical. The way that the practical. Okay, let's take another example. God damn, love me some Henry Cavill, and he comes not under fire, but this interviewer tries to ambush him in a way. Let's listen to the question.
There's something really interesting with this character that I find fascinating, which is that he genuinely really,
oh my God,
does just want to do the right thing. Mm-hmm. But everywhere he goes, whether it's a new town or a new bar, people just kind of give him a hard time and they rap.
I know, isn't that weird, considering how tolerant they are to people of color and how tolerant they are to females, that they would act in this way to a Witcher? It's as if it doesn't make any sense at all.
On him despite the fact that he has great intentions. I'm curious if that's comparable to this sort of world, this culture of toxic fandom, where like if you make a movie, especially if you make a superhero movie, like you have great intentions, but there are always going to be a small yet vocal group of people there can kind of just be toxic.
So here's the narrative from the interviewer. Toxic fans are toxic. So Henry Cavill kind of gets ambushed here, but how does he respond to that? Does he get caught up in the interview and just go along with it? No, Henry Cavill seems to very much have his own mind and own points of view.
I understand what you're saying, but when it comes to fans, it is a fan's right to have whatever opinion they want to have. And people are going to be upset because, especially when you're talking about books or games, because you're never going to be the exact person who they had in their head or who they played on Witcher 3, for example. I don't necessarily consider that toxic. I just consider that passionate.
Boom. I don't consider that toxic. I consider that passionate. Henry Cavill, who is, and I say this with the utmost love and respect, a nerd. You know, he's a nerd like us. He likes his geeky stuff. He likes his Warhammer 40k and World of Warcraft and all this kind of thing. So he understands the point of view of a fan, and he would understand the perspective of how you, in your head, and then is your own head canon, perceive a character to be. So when a movie production company comes along and takes that beloved character and turns it into, I don't know, a woman, homosexual, a different color, or completely writes them contrary to how they are in the comics, many different things, then yes, fans are going to get annoyed, frustrated about that, because you are not giving, in their eyes, a genuine representation of what that character or who that character actually is. So good on Henry again. However, let's go back to Ewan, because where the message should have ended, hey, you've made Kenobi the #1 premiered show of all time on Disney Plus without numbers being released, because Stranger Things annihilated us. So did Top Gun Maverick at the... Never mind. He now has to do corporate Disney speak. The Masters has spoken, and they've asked Ewan to now do corporate Disney speak.
However, it seems that some of the fan base from this influential fan base have decided to attack Moses Ingram online and send her the most horrendous racist DMs.
How are they sending her DMs? I mean, okay, all right, maybe Ewan misspoke, and I'm not trying to nitpick here and pull him up on it. But again, what proportion of messages? Where do they come from? We don't know. We don't know any of this. And the way that Disney have manufactured this whole charade right now, I think it's healthy to be cynical.
And I heard some of them this morning, and it just broke my heart. Moses is a brilliant actor. She's a brilliant woman, and she's absolutely amazing in this series. She brings so much to the series. She brings so much to the franchise.
I mean, that's a matter of perspective and opinion, but okay. You know, you're not going to throw your co-stars under the bus. Okay, fine. Support your co-stars, whatever.
And it just sickened me to my stomach to hear that this had been happening. I just want to say, as the leading actor in the series, as the executive producer on the series, that we stand with Moses. Do you stand with Gina Carano? I mean, there was none of this pomp and circumstance when it came to Gina Carano and how she was persistently attacked when she didn't want to play the stupid games of Twitter. She didn't want to play the pronoun game. She didn't want to be bullied into doing anything she didn't want to do. She had some very aware opinions about what's going on today. But because it seemed to fall, whether or not, I mean, I don't know Gina's politics. I don't know how she voted. But because it didn't seem to conform to the ideology of Disney and the screaming Twitter fans, she came under a lot of abuse. And where was Disney protecting her? Where was Disney coming out and denouncing these people and what they were saying to her? Nowhere. Nowhere at all. And in actual fact, sacked her, didn't renew a contract, whichever way you want to view it, on Twitter in a disgusting and disgraceful manner, shows how they didn't have any respect or desire to protect a strong woman at all. So it's one rule for thee and another for me. And of course that involves you having the correct ideology. Now, I'm pretty sure Ewan finishes off now with just unbelievable logic. Love Moses. And if you're sending her bullying messages, you're no Star Wars fan in my mind. There's no place for racism in this world. And I totally stand with Moses. Yeah, there's no place for it. That is, you know, stunning and brave stuff there. I think Eric July earlier, I mean, he put his neck out there and he said, look, if no one else is going to say it, I'm going to say it. And I don't care about the repercussions. Racism bad. Eric, you are an inspiration, sir. An inspiration of the highest order. You know, he's not... if you have to say... Look, we all know any normal human being knows that racism not good, okay? We don't have to be told this. It's a given. So the very fact that they have to come out and say racism bad is A, amplifying the fact that you want to manufacture and play off this racism card, which is disgraceful, because that makes you the racist ultimately. Well done, Disney. But it's not the first time. Won't be the last time either. I'm absolutely sure. But it also infantilizes your audience as if they didn't know or wouldn't know that. And so if you have to say, don't be a racist to somebody, you're clearly saying it to somebody who ain't quite there. But of course, this seems more like a manufactured event as it goes along. I know this video is long. I just have one more thing I want to go into. New York Post. Obi Wan Kenobi star Ewan McGregor stands with co-star Moses Ingram in face of racist hate. A very specific narrative. But if you go into the comments, it's actually interesting to see what people have to say. Like this first chappy here, I think most people are upset that the show disrespects Obi-Wan's character and sidelines him in order to artificially prop up a new character that no one cares about. Disney simply hates the classic heroes of the franchise because they are mostly white men. It's pretty based there, dude. It's a controversy. They did what? Nah, sister must show us who are these people and let global Twitter to deal with them. Yeah, wise words. Racism doesn't exist. Seemingly based. True Star Wars fans stand against racism. The internet can be a wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must eliminate racism. Do you eliminate racism? There is no try. Okay, very obvious. You just said absolutely nothing then. You just said racism bad. Go woke, get woke, go broke. No one's watching, and those who are, well, a lot of people are watching in all fairness, if it is the #1 show. And those that are watching don't like it as much, so it must be racism. Yeah. If you don't like it, if you're critical of it, it's racism, which is exactly the narrative that they're pushing. Disney race-baiting marketing strategy will turn more people away from the show than attract. I absolutely agree. I think this is an obvious manufactured situation off a few horrible comments, let's say, that they run with and wanted to place in a nice juicy narrative to compare racism with criticism and blur that line. And so if you are critical, you are being racist in their eyes. That's what they're trying to do. It's obvious now for absolutely everyone to see. I don't see how anyone could not see that blatantly. Reva is bad story. The whole you hate the new character because you are racist line isn't going to work for Star Wars when he is by far one of the most loved characters, Mace Windu. Well, you have to remember, Daddy Dargoth, that Moses Ingram didn't think there were any black people in Star Wars until she came along. I bet it's like 3 people. Exactly. I bet it's an absolute minuscule amount, whether it be legitimate or created by Disney marketing to create this controversy. Or as somebody said earlier, God bless them, non-troversy. Okay, spoiler alert. So there's, yeah, it just goes on. I made a poop. By the way, the acting of both Ewan McGregor and Moses Ingram is plastic, stiff, and seems off. Leia's character is annoying, not entertaining. What happened to Jimmy Smith's face? He grew old, dude. Come on, man. It looks like a video game character. Creepy. Kumail Nanjiani's character is the best one so far. And that character, if you ask me, is contrived to hell. I wouldn't say it's the best character so far. I think Owen, the little bit that Owen was in was all right. But there you go. You see that the comments are not buying this narrative. They're not falling for the marketing that Disney are trying to push, that criticism equals racism equals you're a racist. Piss off, Disney. See you in the next video. Bye for now. Oh, and the next video will be the Kenobi Episode 3 review with Jane Theory.